Hey guys, and welcome back! In my last video, I hinted that I would be making a follow-up video about how to solve the Rubik's Cube. So here I am. Let's get started. Please note that to understand this video, you must already know about the difference between centers, edges, and corners. Firstly, I must tell you that we are using the layer by layer method, which is also called the beginner's method to solve it. Other methods include CFOP, RU, and ZZ. Before we can even do our first turn, we need to know about basic cube notation. Algorithms, the way you solve the Rubik's Cube, consist of 6 moves plus 3 counterparts and doubles. These moves are U, R, L, D, and F, and B. If you see a regular letter, that means to do a clockwise turn. If you see a letter plus a comma thing next to it, that means to do it counterclockwise. These moves are U prime, R prime, L prime, D prime, F prime, and B prime. Lastly, if you see a 2 next to the lever, then it means to do the move twice, like this. For example, U2, R2, L2, D2, F2, and B2. Please remember that all these moves are relative to the player, and for U2 moves, it doesn't matter which way you do it, clockwise or counterclockwise. Now we can finally start solving it. First, we must solve the cross. Look on the top of your Rubik's Cube and find the white center. Now look on the sides. Try to find a white part of an edge on the top. If you find one, look down to see the other part. If it matches the center under it, great. If it doesn't, do U moves until it matches. If you find a white edge on the side, bring it down to the bottom. For any white edges on the bottom, bring it to the center that matches it, then do R moves to bring it up. Do the same for all white edges. If the edge is flipped, like this, then turn it to the side, and instead of turning the side it's on, use the side perpendicular to it and bring it down. Then put it into the slot. Next, we need to get the white corners in. Here's where we use our first algorithm. Pick a corner, any corner. Then look at its colors. This one is white, red, and blue. Then turn it until it's under the white, red, and blue centers. Then do this algorithm. R prime, D prime, R, D. Depending on how the corner is oriented, it could take anywhere from 1 to 3 times to get the corner into place. After you're done with that corner, finish the other corners. You finished the first layer, but there's still a long way to go. Next, we're going to solve the second layer. First, find an edge. If it has yellow on it, it's useless. Once you find one that doesn't have yellow, turn that corner until the corner matches the center. Next, you have a decision to make. Look at the corner that is facing the roof. Does it match the center on the left or on the right? If it matches the right, then do this algorithm. U, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, F prime, U, F. You know you did it right if the edge now is in the slot. If it goes on the left, then do this algorithm. U prime, L prime, U, L, U, F, U prime, F prime. But what if the edge is already in but it doesn't match? Use either one of these algorithms on the piece and it will be swapped out. Repeat this process until all 4 edges are in. Finally, the last layer. This step is complicated, so pay attention. The first thing you need to do is check the yellow side for edges. Ignore the corners for now. There are 4 different cases you can have. You can either have just a center or a dot case shape, an L shape, a line shape, or a full cross. If you have a full cross, you can skip this part. If you have a dot case, you must do this algorithm I'm going to show you 3 times. For an L case, 2 times, and you only have to do it once for a line case. Here's the algorithm. F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime. Be careful though, if you have an L case, either by hanging it or by getting it by doing the algorithm, to solve it, you must hold it so that the L shape looks like an actual L. And for a line case, you have to hold it so that it goes across the roof. But wait, something's wrong. There's a cross, but its colored edges are misplaced. To fix this, we need to turn the top layer until 2 of its edges line up to form a right angle. When you find it, hold the cube so that the right angle is in the top right corner, like this. Then do this algorithm. R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. And that will fix the cross. Here's an important note. If you keep turning the cube and none of the edges line up, that means you have a rare case in which two edges opposite of each other will line up. In that case, once you find the two edges, hold them so that one side faces you and one side faces away. Then do the algorithm, and it'll revert to a regular right angle case. The last step, solving the corners. Firstly, find a corner that has the same colors as the one around it. It doesn't have to match, just has to have the same colors. Next, put it on the right like this and do this algorithm. U, R, U prime, L prime, U, R prime, U prime, L. When you finish, check to see if the corners are matched up. If they all are, great. If it doesn't, do the algorithm again. You only have to do it a maximum of 3 times. If none of them line up, pick a random side, then do the algorithm. Then one of them will line up. For the last part, you need to either find a corner that already matches up perfectly or just find a random side. If you find the one that matches up, then go to the unmatched corner to the left of it. Hold that corner on the right and then do one final algorithm, the first one you learned. R prime, D prime, R, D. It might take you a few times to match it up so that it's to its edge, and it doesn't matter if the cube is messed up. Finish the algorithm, and then a U prime moves to the next corner that will face you. It's especially important that you do a U prime move instead of turning the cube. Keep doing algorithm U prime moves until they are all matched up. Once that is done, all you need to do to solve the cube is to do a U or a U2 move until the last edge lines up. Congratulations! You learned how to solve a Rubik's Cube! If you want to memorize how to solve it, I would recommend writing or typing the algorithm somewhere near you so that you can look back to them later. Eventually, you will remember. See you guys next time!